Hello friends! Today I'm going to teach you how to make a budget Quidditch robe based on the robes in the Sorcerer's Stone movie. You will need bed sheets or other fabric in your preferred house colors. I'm going to be making a Gryffindor robe. I choose bed sheets because I can get them for $3 or $4 at the thrift store. You will also need scissors, cord to close it. I believe that the cord in the movie is gold. I'm using this white cord because it's what I have on hand and I am lazy and cheap. And a sewing machine, as well as thread that matches your colors of your robes, and you will also probably want an iron. Oh, and a measuring tape. Ta-da! If you don't have a lot of experience with creating your own patterns, you may just want to pick up a commercial pattern for this. Simplicity 5840 would be a great choice. If you're going to make your own pattern, a robe is basically just a T shape with an added hood. You can measure your wingspan, the distance from your shoulder to where you want the hem, and the width of your shoulders to create a basic pattern. Then cut out 2 of those T's on the fold for each color, the outside and the lining. 1 T is the front and 1 is the back. You'll also want to cut the front T down the middle because that is where it will open. Pin the front to the back along the sides, under and over the sleeves, and stitch. Those are the seams that turn this into a wearable garment, so once they're sewn, you'll be able to put it on and it'll look like a robe. Do this to both the outside and the lining. This would be a good time to iron, like a pro. Now it's time for the hood. If you haven't made a lot of hoods before, there are plenty of pointed hood patterns available for free online. You'll want 2 of each pattern piece of each color, or 1 of each on the fold, depending on how much fabric you have. Pin the back seam of each hood and the top if you didn't cut on the fold, and sew. Then you'll put the hood and the hood lining right sides together and stitch those front seams. When you turn it inside out, the only raw edges that should be visible are the ones at the neck, where the hood will attach to the robe. Next, it's time to attach the hood to the neckline. Put your robe and lining right sides together and sandwich the hood in between them. Then pin your entire neckline and sew. Also at this time, you can pin and sew both front seams, the ones that go from the neck all the way to the bottom hem. You can put it on now. At this point, the only open seams should be the bottom hem and the sleeves. Keep ironing periodically. It'll keep your work and your seams neat. Now, there are probably plenty of ways to hem the bottom, but the way I did it was I ironed a single fold hem into the lining and into the outside fabric so that the raw edges were captured inside the robe when I sewed them together. You can also do your sleeves this way, but somehow my lining sleeves ended up a little too short for that, so I just did a double fold hem on the red fabric and zigzagged the edge of the lining fabric. Last but not least, the grommets. These are the materials I forgot to mention at the beginning. If you don't have grommets and a grommet setter, you can always just use the buttonhole feature on your sewing machine for this part. To use the grommet setter, you just cut holes in your fabric, put both sides of the grommet in, and then give it a few good smashes with the hammer. Ta-da! I'm done. But you would not be done until you had sewn a patch right here. But I don't have a patch, so I'm going to skip that step. But you can sew a patch right there. You can get a patch online. And then you have Quidditch robes. Hooray! Good job!